Hello and welcome back to my presentation. My name is Jonathan Semple and this is the final presentation for the POL 213 class that we have been taking for the last half a semester. Now, when it comes to the foreign services, I would try to go for constructional engineering. Now, the reason I would do this is my job would be to monitor and report on contract work overseas that is in progress or that is starting, maybe acquiring new properties, or just simply surveying properties that are already owned, and then doing all of this within some sort of budget and within some sort of time frame. Now, the reason that I would choose to do this over something like counseling or simply working in an embassy is because I feel that this would be more enjoyable for me, as I'm already going into an engineering field, and I did consider constructional engineering way back when, about 2 years ago, when I was trying to decide what major I was going to go for. Now, as you can see by the pictures on the right, it sort of can tell you a little bit about what that would look like. Um, Planning, figuring stuff out, working with a team, as you can see in the top one, not necessarily building, but working with a team to get a project done, to get a project progressing. Now, where would I go? This is a tough question because I wouldn't want to end up somewhere in the Middle East, especially with all that's happening there right now, with them having issues with terrorism, issues with wars and all this. So I think I would want to end up somewhere in Europe. The reason being is if I'm in, say, Germany, I can take a week trip and go to a lot of these cool sites, such as in Paris, this bottom left picture you see, or in the top left where you see um, part of the Colosseum. Now, I actually have visited both of those before, and they're quite cool, which is why I would like to go back and one day see them again. So I would probably try to go somewhere in Europe, not anywhere specifically, but somewhere in Europe that um, when the time comes, I'd be able to easily travel and view the world or view Europe, view the history of where we came from. Because, yes. Now, when it comes to what role the U.S. should hold in international policy, this is a tough question because the United States in today's world has established itself as a world police, as a world military force, as a political power, military power, a superpower of the world. And so, taking all these into account, it's hard to say that we should take a step back from our international policy, but in some cases, I think we should, as in we tend to have bases pretty much everywhere in the world, and why I think that is a great thing. It allows us to have a large amount of control on what's going on and have a large amount of control of our allies and those who would like to become our allies or those who we have uneasy relations with. And I think that that's great. But in general, we have one of the largest militaries in the world, and while that serves to be a huge advantage for us, I haven't looked at the budget specifically. I'm not sure that we need to have as large of a military as we do. But all that being said, I do believe that um, keeping our military the way it is a great way to go, as it allows us to protect ourselves, protect our allies, protect those who we have those uneasy relationships with, and if something does happen, it will allow us to defend ourselves and defend those who need to be defended. And that also allows the U.S. to um, remain a superpower that it is, because even if many of the countries that we're uneasy with decide to go after us, we have the militaristic power to defend ourselves and keep our mainland safe, our home area safe. Whereas many other countries, say, oh, I don't know, many of the countries in Europe, while they have a military, it's not necessarily going to be enough to stop a full-out invasion from another country. And I truly believe that the U.S. is the backbone of many of our relationships and much of the defense of the world. And that is something that we need to continue to do. Now, that is the end of my presentation. It's a little bit of a short one and maybe a little bit rambly, but It has been a fun semester so far, taking this class with all of you guys, reading your posts and watching your videos and all of the above, and it has been enjoyable to write the essays for this class, all of our journals and our midterm and our final paper. And so all in all, I believe it was a good semester and hope that you guys feel the same. See you later.